Hey, these are the Jeremy Journals. This story takes place a long time ago when I was just a little kid, and I was living in Islam. And it involves a hunchbacked man, and he lived in Colonia, just on the border of Islam and Colonia actually, right next to Freeman's Pond. And Freeman's Pond was named after this guy who owned most of Colonia. He donated the area around the pond to a military hospital I found online. But anyway, that's not the part of this story. This story is about the hunchback who lived in like a kind of shack or something. Well, at least through my childlike eyes it looked like a shack in the woods right next to the pond. And there were two ways to get to that pond. There was like the dirt road, or there was Nudie Book Ravine, or what we came to refer to as Nudie Book Ravine, but that's another story. If you went by the ravine, it was safer. If you went by the street, the dirt road, your bike ended up in the pond by the, you know, the hunchback guy. Hunchy. Hunchy is what we called him, actually. So on this one particular day, my friend Rob and I, we used to go down there all the time. His brother had noticed that Hunchy wasn't around, and usually he was. He tormented us as kids if we ever wanted to go down by this pond. It was like the place to be in the summertime, you know. You skipped rocks on it, and you chased dragonflies around. It was awesome. But on this particular day, Hunchy was nowhere to be seen. So Jeff got me and Rob to go up toward his shack-like house and investigate. And that's what we did. We walked around the corner of his little shack, and we started hearing the buzzing, or the sound that flies make. And there, on the doghouse, crucified, was a dog. Like that. It scared the shit out of us, and we took off running. I remember, and whether we actually saw this or not, I don't know. It could have been in our heads. It could have been real. What was definitely real was as we were pedaling our bikes for our lives out of there, I could look down at our feet pedaling, and there were all these flies following us, chasing after us. We called them tsetse flies because that was like what was chasing after you in the Atari Indiana Jones games. The tsetse flies! So we were chased by tsetse flies. It was insane. When we got to the woods behind our elementary school, we told Jeff what had happened. He went to a payphone and did like an anonymous call to the police. And we ran back to the ravine and climbed up to the top, looking over, hiding in the bushes for when the cops came. When Hunchy came home, the cops took him away. For whatever reason, I don't know. They may have found a dog, they may have found something else, who knows. In any event, Hunchy never returned, and his house fell into disrepair. I think a couple years later, they knocked it down, and the construction workers gave us donuts for every window we smashed. But anyways, that was Hunchy. A curious note though, like 10 years ago I was like putzing about, just reminiscing and stuff. I went to our elementary school, and it was on a Saturday, and I was just walking around to go see the woods that we used to hang out in. And there was a couple of kids there, and I was asking them what kind of teachers they had. On retrospect, I was probably like a weird, creepy guy, but anyway, it was totally innocent. And then they told me what they sometimes like to do is sneak down to Freeman's Pond. But it was haunted by the ghost of a hunchbacked man. And supposedly, from their telling of the story, 100 years ago, he used to kill kids. And until one day a group of kids stood up to him and he died or whatever. And ever since, he's been haunting the pond, waiting for them to return, or their descendants. This, my friends, is all a true story. I'm not making it up. But anyways, weird, right?